At 5:21, I call the special city council meeting of the governing body of the city of Blanco to order. Roll call.
Mayor Lumpy,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Salceda,
Here.
Councilmember Barron. Here. Councilmember Devine. Here. Councilmember Smith. Councilmember McClellan.
Thank you. Please stand for pledge. We are going to move on to announcements. And first, I would like to announce that the Scenic City application has been submitted. We will have our preliminary scores by the end of June. Next, the Chamber is hosting an Eclipse Town Hall tonight at 6 p.m. across the street. There will be an annular eclipse on October 14th, 2023, and a total eclipse on April 8th, 2024. The 4th Street Gallery is going to have a new exhibit called On Shelter, and it opens on April 30th. Twin Sisters Dance Hall will have its first of the month dance on May 7th. The burn ban is currently off at this time, so burn carefully. The Joe Garcia Memorial Golf Tournament hosted by the Rotary Club will take place on May 9th. And a reminder that May is Historic Preservation Month, and the Blanco Historic Preservation Commission will be having a community workshop on May 7th at the Byers Building. And lastly, I'm excited to announce officially that the City of Blanco is now a dark sky community. Thank you to the Blanco County Friends of the Night Sky, city staff, the chamber, PEC, the county, and to all the wonderful volunteers that have made this happen. There are only 195 certified international dark sky places in the world, and now Blanco is one of those. Do we have any public comments? Okay. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. We have one item, approval of the interlocal agreement between the City of Blanco and Blanco County that identifies the governmental entity authorized to regulate subdivision plats and approve related permits in the city's ETJ. Is there a motion?
I hope we approve the interlocal agreement between the City of Blanco and Blanco County that identifies the governmental entity authorized to regulate subdivision plats.
Councilmember Barron has moved to approve the interlocal agreement between the City of Blanco and Blanco County. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Devine has seconded. Discussion? All in favor? The motion carries unanimously. Going to move on to new business. Item 1, consideration, discussion, and take action on approval of engagement letter between the City of Blanco and Belt Harris Pawtuck to perform audit for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2021 at the cost of $32,500. Mr. Escobee.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Appreciate everybody coming here on a special meeting, really for this item and the other item. But this has been kind of a long process. As you know, we've done 2 RFQs to have an audit services that no one had applied for. And part of that reason was the city really needed to go through all their accounts, make sure that we start looking at all the accounting really clean up everything. I think we've done a really good job doing that. Staff's worked really hard. We've had help from council members. Everybody's kind of looked at this and made sure that all the accounts are reconciled, and we're very close to having clean books. And so I reached out to someone that I dealt with a lot at the city of Sealy, Bell Harris Potachak, a little bit about them. They're a company that started in the 50s and early 60s, really mainly on ISDs. They dealt with schools. And then in the late 80s, early 90s, they started focusing more on cities and counties and MUDs and those sort of things. So what's happened now, what we're finding is that a lot of the CPAs that do this kind of work don't really do city work. And so in order to get a good accounting firm that really will want to do it, a lot of them don't want to do it. They don't want to do cities because it's complicated. This organization's one that does it. We used Bell Harris before and Sealy, and they did a good job for us. Let me explain a little bit about what the engagement letter is. It's for this year. That's $32,500. It's a 5-year term. We had Tim Tuggy, our attorney, review it. And one of the things that we made sure to put in the engagement letter is that any time that the council does not want to use them, they can cancel, and any portion of it's not amortized, we would not have to pay for. So the reason why we got the cost of $32,500 is because it be amortized over 5 years. I'm guessing the first couple of years may cost more than that, and then the last few years will be less. But amortized over that amount, their quote was $32,500. But we really need to get this approved so that we can be fully audited, really for 2 reasons. Number one, we have Texas Water Development Board grants that we have to have this done by June 30th. That's the first reason. And the second reason is that I, as administrator, do not want to start a new budget without audited last year's budget. So you have to have the 21 budget audited so that you can make sure that your current year is working off audited numbers, and then your future year, which would be in the 22-23 year, would be working off all of these numbers. So it is really important to get this done. Questions of staff?
And their timing, they can hit our tight deadline, this is tight.
Yes, they can. It is really tight. I had talked to another firm, thought that was going to happen. Again, some of the issues with the other firm was that this was a tight time frame. These folks are willing to get whatever staff they need. They have an Austin office, although the general partner I've been speaking to is from Houston. They have the staff to be able to get this done.
Move that we enter into this engagement letter between the city of Blanco and Bell Harris project to perform our fiscal year 2021 at the cost of $32,000.
Councilmember Barron has made a motion or has moved to approve the engagement letter between the city of Blanco and Bell Harris Potachak to perform the audit for 2021 at the cost of $32,500. Is there a second? Councilmember Devine has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? The motion carries unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Councilmember Devine has moved that we adjourn. Is there a second? Councilmember Barron has seconded. All in favor? At 5:30, we are adjourned.